Apparently gamers are dancing on Ubisoft's grave, so some of the higher ups are doing what my community refers to as crashing out. One of them being Ubisoft's monetizing director Stevie Chassard, if I'm saying that correctly, where he took to LinkedIn and voiced his displeasure, saying the gaming industry is rough at the moment. We all know it, but seeing how gamers react on social medias, wishing ill fate to companies and people alike is sad. And not towards Ubisoft, even though it is always the vocal minority that express themselves on social media. I was hurt, and ashamed to be a part of this community. Ha! Gay! You say the gaming industry is rough at the moment, but you mean it's only rough to you and other companies who make crappy games. Shots fired. You notice in the second sentence he lumps gamers into one group. Doesn't say certain gamers or negative critics or detractors. Just in these two sentences he shows his complete lack of etiquette together with an accusatory tone, which is a direct indicator of how out of touch Ubisoft is. 2 points for you. Let's play to the notion that gamers want Ubisoft gone. So what? A little excommunicado never hurt anyone outside the John Wick universe. From your perspective, it's making you sad, hurt, because as you quoted, your colleagues work hard to deliver incredible experiences. Incredible? You think your experiences are incredible? We can argue that they were incredible. Ubisoft's games for the last few years are the equivalent of a cereal aisle full of honey smacks when everyone else is looking for cinnamon toast crunch and or frosted flakes. Long story short, their recent games take up shelf space for things we wish to have seen. Rainbow Six Vegas 3, anyone? How about Assassin's Creed 4 remake, or 2, or Brotherhood? I don't know, Splinter Cell comeback? But no, instead, Ubisoft offers the norm. Uncreative, repetitive, now politically charged, need I say, buggy games. People like Chassard and his team sees the hate being poured out on their company, but if they looked closely, they would see that the hate is for them and what they've done. This includes current owner Yves Guillemot. Understand that hate is a derivative of love. In short, you tend to hate things that conflicts with what you love. For example, I'm sure you loved Ubisoft and the amazing franchises that it published at one point. For me personally, it's the Tom Clancy game. It's Rayman, who gave Mario, Crash, and Spyro a run for its money at one point. It's the early AC games that can be considered some of the greatest open world games of all time. Don't get me started on the greatness that is Far Cry 3. Because of the love we have or had for Ubisoft and its rich history, doesn't it make sense that there's a strong opposition to current leaders running Ubisoft to the ground with, how about certain consultants and out-of-touch leaders who take beloved franchise and IP, turning it into a virtue signal lesson? Like, why do gamers need to be lectured by an AC game through the eyes of a black gay man who fights to hip-hop music in feudal Japan? To any black decision makers that had a hand in this,
come on, my nigga.
Also, why does the homegirl in Star Wars have to be a fuggy looking butch? Overall, I submit to you that the hate is for the people steering the Ubisoft ship to the ground. Ideally, we want someone else to be steering that ship, if even at all. And apparently, so does your investor. Point number 2, how many of your parents taught you the saying that it is better to be thought of as a fool than to open your mouth and prove it true? Yeah, me too. Chassard comment easily reignited the negative press that Ubisoft was getting with Star Wars flop and AC Shadows gentrification. There are lifelong careers dedicated to saying the exact thing at the exact time like this. Instead, you have this emotional buffoon ends his statement with a virtue signal saying, please, please, please stop spreading hate. We should all uplift each other instead of bringing each other down. Sir, do you realize that in your first sentence you failed to specify gamers and lumped us all into one group? And in your last sentence you equated all gamers to a group spreading hate to other people, intentionally leaving out the context that you and your team are developers of numerous bad products and deceptively promoted them as good. Free Disney tickets, anyone who positively review my game? And that's before you have Access Media hyping up your slops as inspiration. Because of Chassard's selfish outburst, we can now infer that his sentiment against gamers is an honest sentiment that echoes throughout all of Ubisoft. So I'll end on this. Ubisoft's failure should be a celebration to gamers and the gaming industry because of the following. It allows better games like Baldur's Gate 3 and Space Marine 2 to be the benchmark the gaming industry should inspire to live up to, rather than the mediocrity that is Ubisoft. Shots fired! Ubisoft's demise also celebrate the lack of reach the access media has to influence consumers and dictate colorful standards. And lastly, it sends a message to the world that we as general consumers have the last word. Gone are the days of complaining, and in are the days we abandon ship and swim to better shores. To the devs at Ubisoft, please quit immediately, especially you, Stevie. We need more qualified people up in here. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have the luxury to suck at my job, do you? I would say don't watch me if I suck, but you got to the end of this video, so give me a like instead and let me know what you guys think in the comments below.